Hey there, everyone. My name's Andrew. Welcome to our Canadian Starships Saturday night live stream. Tonight, in the live stream, we are working again on the 1/650 scale Enterprise D project. It is sitting there on its back. I have, actually, let me just pop over to this view here for you. I have the third color all down on the bottom saucer. That was done over the last couple days. And actually, it was done yesterday night on the HTM live stream where I masked this thing off and then I painted it this morning. That's how recent this is. What we're going to be working on tonight is the rest of the ship with that third color. So the neck, the bottom of the secondary hull, the bottom of the nacelles. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get the entire thing masked up tonight. And if we're lucky, if things go smoothly, we'll see. We should be able to get a little bit of paint on here as well. I do have to let you know, though, if you are here for the Ken conversation, unfortunately, Ken is not feeling well tonight. So I do not have Ken with me as a producer, but so you're stuck with me to carry the conversation tonight. So let's pop over to the chat and see who is here. Looks like we've got 5 viewers so far. So let's see who is here in the chat. And so far we've got Jody. Hey, Jody, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream. Just a programming note, and Jody, you can correct me if I am mistaken. But Jody is now streaming Thursday nights after Jordan's live stream, Jordan at Aligning the Stars. So he will not be, unless he's changed things last minute, he will not be live streaming following this stream tonight. So he can correct me if I am wrong on that. But that is what is happening. We've got Bamboo Taco 4901 here saying howdy. Well, welcome to the live stream. And he says, correct, if I do. Okay, if you are going to do the live stream on Thursday, that's what it will be. And let's see, we've got Dennis Komu here with the Stargate logo and says, good evening. Well, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out here. So I've got my tea, Earl Grey hot. It is in the Captain Picard cup tonight, and we are going to get to some work. We've got Trent here saying hi, Andrew. Hi, Trent. Welcome. We've got Ken's Model Shop here. Good evening. Thanks for coming in. And he's not only saying hi to me, he's saying hi to everyone. So that is great. Welcome to the live stream tonight. If you are just joining us, I did mention that Ken is not with us tonight. Ken is not feeling well, so he is taking a much-needed rest. I'm not sure. We might see Ken in the chat, but we shall see. Bamboo Taco says, have you ever built one of the De Boer's hulls, 1/260 Enterprise refits or Reliance? I have not. But if I ever get the chance to scoop up one of those models, because I'm not sure that they are making it, De Boer Hull's website is still there, but I'm not sure that they are making any right now. But if I ever come across a kit available, I will probably scoop that up, because that would be the kind of refit I would like to do. I like the bigger ships, and I'd love to do a De Boer's refit, or the De Boer / North Star Reliant. That would be pretty cool to do. Let's see. And Trent's just saying, hey, Jody, Bamboo, Dennis, and Ken. All right. Yeah, if anybody ever has a line on a kit that's going, that's of one of those ships, and you're not going to scoop it up for yourself, let me know, because I will always be interested in that. Let's see. Bamboo Taco says, I just about called them the other day, but chickened out because I was afraid if they told me the price, I'd buy one. Yeah. I don't know how much those run for. And again, I don't know if they are still even making them and selling them, because I have not seen. It's been years since I've seen somebody build one. The last person I saw build that was Simon Merckx, and that was a considerable amount of time ago. So I don't know if those are even around anymore. All right. So what's the countdown for? The countdown in the background here. It's a little fuzzy because of the depth of field on the camera, but I have 53 days, 2 hours, 51 minutes, and 43 seconds until I have to leave for Wonderfest. That's my Wonderfest countdown. Well, Wonderfest has just crept up like, I don't know, some animal that's super like quiet in stalking its prey. Wonderfest has just completely snuck up this year. These things, between parenting and life and work and everything like this, I was hoping that these would be out the door earlier, not too long after Wonderfest. But the goal is that both will be done for Wonderfest. At least one of these will be at Wonderfest again, because I don't have another project to bring to put at Andy's desk to show off his amazing lighting system, the amazing inner light system at Scale Electronics that is inside these kits. I might as well just show this. Actually, let me start it back over again. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this so you could still see me talking to you. So what we've been doing is having, last year we had this model, the one that is just here up behind me, at Andy's booth at Wonderfest, the Scale Electronics inner lighting booth at Wonderfest, because I've put his system into these ships, and it is just so cool. And it's a great, having the big model there is a great way to show off what his lighting kit is able to do. So I was hoping to have either the Excelsior or the Enterprise B, the 350 scale, this year, but because these are not done yet, that project has not started yet. Plus, I have some other projects that need to go out the door first. I've got two 1400 scale Enterprise E's that have to be done. I've got a 1400D that needs to be done before I even think about starting the B or Excelsior, whichever one it's going to be. So at least one of these is going to be at Andy's booth demonstrating his amazing lighting kit at Wonderfest. But Wonderfest has just creeped up on me yet again. So that is the timer. That was supposed to help me keep on track for Wonderfest, but time has just gone away like it's been stolen away like a thief in the night. I don't know. Let's see. Dennis says, it feels like you were just talking to Norm at the last Wonderfest. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have a project for them to interview me about this year, because it's just going to be the same thing, and they're not going to want to talk to me about the same model again. So, but it should be done with registries and decals and everything like that. So, and Jody's just saying hi to Trent. And then Ken's Metal Shop says, I'm still working on the Klingon battle cruiser engines at the moment. I'm currently cleaning my airbrush. Yeah. I actually, I'm going to be in the market for a new airbrush. And funny story, I contacted Badger, because I use Badger airbrushes. I've got two of these Crescendo 175s. I've been using them since I started my YouTube channel, and they're starting to get a little fussy. This particular one, which is right now the one I'm using mostly, they're exactly the same airbrush. Exactly the same airbrush. This is the first one I bought. This was a backup one I bought. This one's been giving me some trouble and some grief and stuff like that. So I've been using this one. But this one's got an air leak right where the valve unit connects to the airbrush. It's just like squirting out a stream of air while I'm using it. So I'm not sure what the issue is there. So I'm in the market for a new airbrush. And so I contacted Badger through their website to ask for recommendations based on the type of work I did. So I introduced myself, say what I did, that I do this here on the YouTube channel, the intricate panel work I do, that kind of thing, and asking for a recommendation. I got an email back basically saying, thanks for sending us an email. We're going to pass you along to our CEO. I'm thinking, why is the CEO the only one in the company who can recommend an airbrush? But anyway, the CEO has reached out and sent an email today asking just how he can help. So I'm going to just kind of send an email back explaining again what it is I'm doing, what type of work I am doing, and what is the Badger airbrush of choice that they would recommend for the type of work I do. So hopefully I hear back and get a good recommendation, and I will look at that and see what I want to do. But yeah, just in the market for a new airbrush. Jody says, I'm just taking a break from Voyager. Very good. Too bad the Voyager crew couldn't take a break from Voyager, huh? They were kind of stuck there. Ken says, I have several airbrushes. Yeah, just what airbrushes do you like? What's your recommendation for an airbrush? And Jody's asking the same question. What do you like best, Ken? It's always interesting to see what people's recommendations are. There's a wide variety of brushes, just like a wide. Take two. There are a wide variety of brushes, just like there are a wide variety of every other kind of tool. And a wide variety of different types of techniques that people could be using in the modeling world. And so it's always interesting to hear what other people are finding good results with. I'm asking Badger because I've found that they're actually right here. They've been good brushes. They're just starting to show their use and wear and age and stuff like that. So if they have a really good recommendation and looks like something that would be feasible for me to get, I will probably get another Badger, but I am also open to other suggestions as well. Let's see, Bamboo Taco. What an interesting name, Bamboo Taco. I have several. I love my H&S Ultra 2024 and Gallery brushes. Ken says, the one I'm cleaning is a Grex, plus I have two Iwata airbrushes. Iwata airbrush? Yeah, Iwata a new airbrush. Yeah, the Iwata. And Jody says, I've only used the Grex so far. I have a Badger, but haven't used it yet. Which Badger is it? Which model is it there, Jody? I'd just be curious which one you have. And Ben's Builds is here. He says, I like my Iwata Neo, but I'm looking to upgrade myself. I know Bill Krause has good things to say about the Grex line. Yeah, I wasn't sure what brushes he uses. The results he gets, I am 100% sure have nothing to do with the brushes he's using. He builds the ships in full-size scale and then shrinks them down with a shrink ray. That's the only way that they can look as perfect as they do. His finishes are some of the best finishes on models I've ever seen. I was really curious to see one of his models in person at Wonderfest just because they look so good on screen in photographs. I wanted to see if it held up in person because quite often models will look really good from a particular angle in a particular lighting with particular camera settings. But then once you get them in person, they look nothing like the pictures. There's also the reverse where people take horrible pictures and then you see the models in person and it's like, that looks so much better than what it looked like in the video or on camera. So, but seeing his models in person, they look just as good in person as they do in photographs, and I'm pretty sure he's like a professional photographer too. Bamboo Taco says, I have a Grex, never could get it to spray right. I really should contact them about it. Let's see. Jody says Patriot something numbers. Got it. And Ben's Build says, yeah, Bill's a magician. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just has a shipyard in orbit where he builds them full size and then shrinks them down to be the models, because I'm sure it's the only way that he can get them as perfectly finished. It's the finish. It's spectacular. So anyway, I'm going to do my very best to keep up with the chat, but I am alone tonight, so please do bear with me if I am not as up on the chat as we normally are, because Ken is usually super good at taking care of that. I do have my tea Earl Grey hot in the Picard cup tonight. I also have water here, which is going to be, if I'm going to be doing a whole lot more talking, because I'm not a fan of dead air on live streams. And I just sprayed that all over the place. Okay, I'm a little bit. I've been sprayed. What I'm saying is, if I'm doing a lot more talking, I'm going to need some water. So, let's see what Jody says. Jody says it made my day when Bill Krause liked my models. Yeah. Well, if anytime somebody who is just that good shows appreciation for the work that you've done, it's always a good feeling. All right, let's get let's switch over to the bench views. So tonight we're going to be working on the neck. So I've got to mask the neck all the way to where it meets the secondary hull. Part of that, it's going to be very difficult for you to see just the way the camera is, but then we have the lower secondary hull, the pylons, and the nacelles that need to be done. And I am not going to forget to do this section, the bottom middle sections of the nacelles this time. That was a bit of work to get that taken care of. So we are going to start with the neck. And so we've got the plan here for what pieces go where. And really, you can tell by the shape, this will be D4 yet. This will be D4. So this piece will go, nope, this piece will go here. Because we have to do it like upside down, because this is actually printed upside down to the way it presents itself when the ship is upside down. D1 goes over on this side, and then we will work our way up back to the photon torpedo launcher, and then we'll move over to this area here. I've got everything cut out that we're going to need tonight, and it is already on the back bench, so this should go relatively quickly. So let me grab a mask. Let me switch over to this desk view, and we shall get some transfer paper and get started. Let's see. Ken's Model Shop says one of my take two on that one. One of my Iwata is a custom micron for detail work. Very expensive airbrush. Oh, that's very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Sorry, I just wanted to see how it sits on the model. I guess I should have changed camera views. By the way, I may forget to change camera views because I don't have Ken here reminding me to change camera views. So, again, there's probably a bear with me here in the room. The card I use for mask design to press down these motion picture miniature masks to the transfer paper was on the back of my chair so that I could focus my camera before we went live tonight. Let's see. Jody says it made my day when Bill Krause liked my models. Oh, no, sorry. I've already seen them, and I starred them. This is the problem when you're doing it yourself. We already saw that comment. All right. One thing that makes pulling the transfer paper off of these challenging from time to time is if the blade on the vinyl cutter went just a little bit deeper than usual and scored the backing material. When it scores the backing material, it can just make it a little trickier because then the vinyl catches on that that score line, and it just makes it a little trickier removing the backing. But it's usually not a problem. You can see that happening, and just give it a little bit of a press down with a tool, either the tweezers. Sometimes I just press down with the corner or the edge of the card, and it'll help assist that. Sometimes I just have to like get in there with the tweezers and remove it, manually remove it from the backing where that cut mark is. Let's see. Bamboo says, it is sad that Bill said he's not going to Wonderfest anymore. I had not heard that he's not going to Wonderfest anymore. I know for some reason they refused to give him a gold, even though his work absolutely, switching cameras, even though his work absolutely deserves not just a gold, but probably a platinum if that was a thing. All right. One of the nice things about using the stencils here is that they don't have to perfectly line up with every other stencil mask, because you can self-align with the paneling underneath. And because the not only is the transfer film transparent and you can see through, but also the masks themselves are transparent, so it allows you to see through there a little bit. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay down the equivalent mask on the other side, and then I'm going to tape off the saucer before I move up. I'm going to do the fine taping off of the saucer before I move up. Switching cameras around. And let's see. Alan Kelly's here. Welcome, Alan. And he says, Bamboo, I get Grex will take care of any problems you are having with your airbrush. Yeah, it's always good when a company will stand by their product. Ken's Model Shop says, I have 3 Grex model airbrushes. 2 are the Tritium TS plus the Tritium TG. And the last one is the Genesis XG. All right. And I'm assuming that if you're mentioning your brushes, you've had good luck with your brushes. If you have brushes and you're mentioning your brushes, but they've been an absolute pain, please let us know so that we don't get those airbrushes. All right. There we go. I think this is a bit of a fresher piece of transfer. There's a sweet spot with the transfer film where it's been used just enough that it perfectly releases the mask onto the model, but also perfectly holds the vinyl so that you can release the backing. And we're kind of at that point here right now, I think, with this piece. But there definitely is a bit of a sweet spot. Jody, you're saying camera already. You're jumping the gun there a little bit. And Ken says, yes, I never had any issues with my Grex airbrushes. Good to know. Good to know. And Jody, I'm going to switch cameras now as I move over to the model. So I'm making sure, because these stencils are allowing me to paint onto the satin blue or the French blue color. So I'm making sure that the stencil is giving me full access to the blue panel, and that it's not overlapping, or at least I'm trying not to overlap too much to one of the other colors. It's fine if there's a little bit of an overlap, but that's how I am figuring out my alignment and placement of these masks. So we now need D2 and D5. Which I believe I've got right here. D2 and D5. Unfortunately, I've got a D2. Let's see here. I've got a D2 mask. I don't have an R2 mask, though. So apologies for that. And actually, let's pop back to the model for a moment. This must be for that side. And this must be for this side. All right, so we'll deal with D5 first. There we go. Jody says it was meant to be a reminder. Ken says the total of airbrushes I have 7 airbrushes. There we go. That's quite a lot of airbrushes. I've been doing all my work with just 2. 1, a spare, an air, and a spare. That's what I've been doing everything with. You know, I saw just in just seeing if there was anything available on Amazon airbrush wise. I came across, and it's got to be the sketchiest thing in the world. I came across this set of 6 or 7 airbrushes for the cost of like 1, and you've got to think to yourself, those must be the most garbage airbrushes in the world if they're selling 6 or 7 airbrushes in a set for the price that you would buy 1 airbrush for. Like 1 run-of-the-mill airbrush. It's like, yeah, don't buy that. Probably fall apart the first time you try to use them. Okay, and I'm going to switch. There we go. quite a bit of a gap there, but we'll cover that with tape. I'm mostly concerned that, actually you can kind of see it there, so I'll grab a pointing device of some such here. So considerable gap here, that'll get filled in with tape. Oh, I forgot I was going to tape off the neck. I'll do that later. But you can see these blue panels, that's what I'm aligning with. And you have to align to not only the panels up front here, but ones in the back as well. So your best alignment to try to get all of them done properly. Okay, so D5, we need D6 next. D6. D6. There's three sets of masks as you go down the neck between the point where it joins the saucer to where it joins the secondary hull. And yeah, this is the proper alignment here. And I'm going to find I've got a thinner piece here somewhere. Thought I had a thinner piece of transfer. Well, you know what? I don't see it here, so we're just going to cut ourselves a fresh piece of transfer. Just so that it works a little easier. Ben's build says, sounds like something you can get at Harbor Freight here in the US. 6 airbrushes for 99 bucks. Yeah, are those pretty garbage airbrushes if you're getting 6 of them for such a low price? Here's my straight edge. And we're just going to go with a really narrow piece. That's all we need. The nice thing about having a whole roll of the transfer film on hand is I can just grab custom sized pieces as I want them. I'm not worried about rationing my use of the film that Wayne has sent. Now, Wayne has sent definitely enough transfer tape to do the whole project, because I did the first one just with the transfer tape that Wayne had sent. But it is nice to have some on hand, and I can just use it as freely as I want to. All right, I've got a Harbor Freight, I guess it is, airbrush. It's not horrible. Okay. Ken says, I have a Storm Force air compressor. It's 16 years old. I picked it up in 2010 and still working. Cool. I've got a huge, like a larger size compressor. I use that for all of the regular compressor stuff. And then I've got one of the small ones that just gives me air on demand for the airbrush. And it's not an expensive compressor. I think it's just off Amazon, but it works. Although I've got a time lapse coming out in my next update on the deep dive into the mask system here, and in the time lapse you can see that as I'm using the airbrush, you can see the compressor walking along my floor. You don't really notice it so much just as you're going to it, but with it all compressed and sped up, you just see it walking across my floor. Jody says, if it wasn't for the group, I would still be using cheap airbrushes like that. I don't recommend them. Yeah. Well, and in trying to talk to Badger, like I'm saying, I want a good quality airbrush, and I'm saying because of the YouTube channel, I've got people asking, what brush I'm using, and they want me to recommend brushes to them. And so I said I want to make sure that I'm using something of quality that I am confident in recommending to viewers. Because if I'm using it, even if I don't actually recommend it, I'm definitely going to be you definitely see what I'm using. And so then if people are like, well, if he's using it and he's doing this kind of work, then maybe I should get one of those airbrushes. I want to just know that if people are buying it because I'm using it, that it's going to work and be reliable for everyone else too. All right, there's that side done. Sorry guys. Ken's not here to tell me to switch cameras. So I just put that piece on and you guys couldn't see what I was doing. My apologies. And one of you's probably shouting out, change your camera, change your camera, change your camera. Oh, well. All right. Well, let's get the next one done here. Jody says, I held back this time. And that was the time I didn't notice to do it myself, Jody. Oh, well. Sorry, I'm just checking here. Double checking the mask orientation, so I am putting it on there correctly. Or I'm preparing to put it on there correctly. All right, we should be able to finish up with these neck masks here in just a couple of minutes. And then I think at that point, we will take a quick commercial break. And then we'll move on to the lower secondary hull masks. Camera, camera, camera. Everybody shouting camera, camera, camera. Change your camera. There we go. Camera changed. Phew. You'd think I'd get this live streaming thing down by now. Go. The masks on the neck are always the most awkward to place down because of the odd curved the compound curves involved in the shape of that neck there. All right, last one to go down on the neck. number D3. And we'll use that special cut piece here. And Jody says, sorry, I'm drawing a starship, so I wasn't really looking. Ken says, my first airbrush is a Badger 16 Anthem. Is your Badger still going strong? When did you buy it? Like, how old is it? The Badger Crescendo was my first real airbrush. Here's one of those situations where the cut into the backing material is making it a little more difficult to release, but I just came at it from a different angle, and that worked. Shark's here. Hi, Andrew, and hello to everyone in chat. Welcome to the live stream. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. I'm on my own tonight. Ken's not here. Well, we've got Ken in the chat, but other Ken isn't here producing for me tonight. So I'm trying my very best. Oh, camera. I hear you. I'm trying my very best to keep up on the chat. Let's see. Ken says, my first airbrush I picked up was a Badger 155. I picked it up in 2010. Still works. Good to hear. And Jody is saying hi to Ricardo, who's Shark, and thanks for the reminder. I'm terrible with names. I'm absolutely terrible with names. And Ricardo says hi, Jody. There we go. So I'm going to switch my camera. Not that you can really see what I'm doing on this one, but it's good to have it on the right camera view. The compound curves on this thing, the way it curves inward makes pulling the transfer tape off a pain. And then you get these creases in the transfer tape. And then the transfer tape's pretty much done at that point. Okay. We've got the neck masks on. That's great. We're going to move on to the secondary hull. Let's quickly catch up with chat here. Jody says, we like the top of your head. All right. And Ken says, having problems texting on my phone, getting old, lol. All right. So we're going to move on to the lower secondary hull section here. But first, let's get into the live stream studio. And apparently my timing is off with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a quick commercial break, and then we'll get back to putting masks down on the model. We do it this way so that you're not interrupted by YouTube doing its own thing. We take control. We make YouTube happy by running an ad, and then we do it in a way that means that you're not being interrupted. And I think that when I press this button, I've still got 7 seconds before it kicks in and go. And if you're still with me, that means that you didn't get a commercial. And we're good with that. We're okay with that. All right. So as I was saying, I'm not going to do anything overly important until anybody who does get hit with a commercial cuts back. But can you guys see the zigzag on there? That's from it folding in and being pulled out. And so it kind of goes in, like, ends up going in on itself to a point and creates that that crease all the way through there. So this piece is toast. It is done. And again, that's one of the reasons why it's nice having a big, huge roll of the transfer film. So did anybody get hit by the commercial break? Or are most of you guys safe from that? I'm just going to grab a refill on my tea while I'm waiting to hear back from chat about the commercial. Are we good to go? Am I still streaming? All right, we got no break for Ken. All right. No break for Ken. I'll just wait here for a moment just to make sure that we are collecting anybody else who got hit by the advertisement. Well, let's just see here. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can see it. It's the wrong side. 2,980. We're only 20 subscribers away from 3,000, which is awesome. It'd be cool to be over 3,000 by the time we get to Wonderfest. Jody says, add block for me. Got it. Got it. All right. Well, we can continue working, I guess. So we're gonna just work our way around the lower secondary hull. And some of these pieces are a little smaller, so let's cuts ourselves a little bit more custom sized transfer. Handy having a cutting mat with measurements. Oops. Right on your desk. That was not a straight cut. That was supposed to be a straight cut. That turned out not to be a straight cut. Let's just recut and remove. Now, somebody said Bill wasn't going to Wonderfest anymore. Has he said why he's not going? Does he just not want to go? Or is there a reason he does not want to go anymore? Also, I've been to Wonderfest 2 years now, and I haven't actually talked to him yet, or not at all. Oh, let's put my face up in the corner. There we go. We've got 15 people watching tonight. That's awesome. So if you are here and you haven't said hello yet, I'd love to know who I'm actually talking to. It's nice to know who you're having a conversation with. So if you're able to, just say hi in the chat so I know who's here with me tonight. Let's see. Ben's Build says, I'm not sure the exact reason, but the secondhand info I got is that he's unhappy he hasn't gotten an award. Yeah, the fact that he hasn't gotten gold. Well, he's gotten awards, he just hasn't gotten gold. And I don't know. That seems suspect to me because his work is just so good. But I am not one of the judges. I don't. You'll never. Well, I shouldn't say. Oh, camera. Let's get the right camera up here. Everybody saying camera. That's not the right one either. Let's actually switch to the right camera here. I will probably never put one of my builds in the contest. I'm happy to display. And so I'm quite happy to put work on Andy's table and demonstrate his lighting system, but I don't think the actual contest part of it is my cup of tea. I mean, part of it is I don't really want to leave a model sitting out unattended, just where anybody can put their hands on it. But I like going and seeing the contest room. I barely got to see it the first year. But because I had my own table and I didn't feel like I could leave my own table. That's also the nice thing about displaying at Andy's desk and being available at Andy's desk. I'm not stuck there the whole time. The other nice thing for Andy is that I know enough about his product that he feels comfortable running and taking a break, grabbing some food or grabbing a washroom break, and I can stay there and still promote his product for him, which from experience, it is nice not having to be stuck at the table the entire time. So I think we've got a good symbiotic relationship happening. Also, I bring some extra supplies for his booth that he's not able to bring because he's flying in. So any way I can help him out is awesome. Let's see. Ben's Build says, I met Bill at Wonderfest 24. He's just passionate about his work, so I understand. Yeah. And it's just so clean and like some of the best finish work I've ever seen. So I know I'd give his work a gold from what I've seen. I've got to say, I had a good chance to get through the contest room this past year. I mean, I just went in and looked at some specific things I was looking to see the previous year because I didn't have much time. But I didn't switch the camera. Oops. Well, let me show you what I did. I put that mask down. Come on, Andrew, get good. Get good at this live streaming thing, you know? People want to see what you're doing. All right. A little overkill on a size of transfer, but it's what we're going to need to do. No, there is. What I was saying was that I got a chance to actually have some time to look around the contest room this year, and there's some really good work in there. Like some really good top. Oops. There's some really good top-notch work in there. Some really impressive pieces. There's a young lad I met the first year I was there, who was a viewer of my channel, and saw him there again this past year, and got a chance to walk through the contest room a little bit with him, and I was able to get him to show me his work that he had in the contest. And I'm not sure how old he is, but he was in the non-adult division, like category, and he had some really good work. So really impressive for his age. So like if we've got some young guys coming up who can do really good work like that, that is awesome to see. And I think some of his builds got gold in the youth division, which is great. So there's a little bit of an overlap on the mask here. And so all I'm going to do is carefully trim some of the overlapping section off. There we go. Let's throw that out somewhere there. All right, that section's down. Oh, and we got some chat. Let's see. Maybe he's considered to be on another level, so it would be unfair to any other contestants. I'm friends with him on social media. I'll ask him. Well, here's the thing. This is what confuses me. There's no first, second, third at Wonderfest. It's not a first past the pole type of contest. It's a graded contest. So you receive a ranking based on the quality of your work, not based on how it stacks up compared to everybody else. So you could have, if you've got 50 entries in a category, you could have 5 gold, 3 silver, 8 bronze, and 2 honorable mentions, right? It's not like, oh, there's only 1 gold, 1. So you're not robbing anybody else of an award that they are deserving of. So where that is explicitly the case, give the man a gold. My opinion. And we've got Ben Spratling here. He says, I'm Ben. I saw your Enterprise D at Winterfest last year. My laser cutter, my birthday present to myself, arrived, and I'm setting it up in the spare room. I'm converting into a diorama making room. Very cool. Well, that's great. Glad that I was able to see the ship at Wonderfest last year. I was hoping that it would be one of the Enterprise Bs, like either the Enterprise B or Excelsior, whichever one, at Wonderfest this year at Andy's desk. But these things have taken so much time, mostly because I'm doing 2 of them at the same time. And this second one has just been a brute with all the seam work and stuff like that. It's turning out great once the paint's on. And actually, there's some seams that are better than this one, specifically on the top neck. But just means that I haven't been able to move on to other projects. So at least, and I'm saying at least one of these will be at Wonderfest again this year at Andy's desk. Hopefully 100% fully completed. All the paint details, all the decals, all of that kind of stuff should be finally fully complete. So yeah. Let's see. In any contest, hearing someone say wow to one of your kits is the real win for me. Of course, it's great to get an award or medal, but seeing someone taking a picture is validation enough. Yeah, love seeing the work, love seeing people getting recognition for what they're doing. And Jody says that sounds cool, Ben. Let's see. We've got two Bens on right now. So, and Ben, if we met, you'll have to forgive me because I met so many people at Wonderfest. But if you're back again this year, one of these will be back at Andy's booth. So say hello and remind me who you are, that you were in the live stream. Because for me, context makes the connections in my brain when it comes to people. So if I can create context for somebody, then I will remember them always. Okay, I need another piece of masking. Let's go with the same mask, but on the opposite side here. And switching. Finding a piece of transfer that's the right size. Okay, we'll go with this one. How are we doing on time? It's 10:04. I'm not sure. I am not sure if we will actually get some airbrush work done tonight. We'll see. I would love to get some airbrush paint work done tonight because that just means I can get to the next steps sooner because it has a better opportunity to dry. All right. Switching over. You know, one of the best purchases I've made in the last year is this bench on wheels. For these larger scale projects, makes a huge difference to be able to easily get all the way around the model and to be able to manipulate where it is, how it's oriented in the room. Makes a huge difference because I didn't have this when I painted this one. I just had my main workbench that I had to then like pull out from the wall and try to get around and stuff like that. And the big workbench takes up so much space, especially the way I had the shop set up at the time. I've reorganized everything as well to give myself a larger open space to work, and just makes all the difference in the world. Okay, last piece for the lower secondary. Then we're going to do the pylons. Oh, camera. Here we go. Yeah, I have to work really hard at names. Like even like don't talk to me about actual like celebrity names and stuff like that, because unless they are a legacy Star Trek actor, I'm probably not going to know a celebrity's actual name. Oh, I'm trying to put this on the wrong way around. Why didn't anybody tell me? Try to put the mask on the wrong way around. Trying to figure out why the panels aren't lining up. And don't worry about these gaps here and there. Those are going to get covered with tape, because you're always going to need to do a little bit of tape work with the masks. All right, let's see. Where are we here? We're going to move on to pylon pieces. We've got two fairly large pylon pieces to go on here. So hopefully one of these transfer tape pieces is going to be big enough. And we've got Steve Martin here. Welcome, Steve. Welcome to the live stream. Saying evening, Steve here from Michigan. I just got back from London, Ontario. First visit with my artist friend, Jim Wilson. Well, I hope that you had a good time here in Canada and that you were treated well while you were here. Says got more of his wonderful sci-fi artwork to share at Wonderfest. Very excited. Well, good to hear that you're going to be back at Wonderfest this year. And yeah, Wonderfest is just sneaking up on us way too quickly. How is anybody expected to get enough work done in just the measly year in between Wonderfest and Wonderfest? Like, come on, everybody. There we go. This piece of transfer must be coming near the end of its life, because it's not adhering to the transfer that well. Probably need to grab a new piece. In fact, can I just peel that off and grab a new piece? That's what I'm going to do. Might as well. Jody, remind me, did you wear your Klingon outfit at Wonderfest? I'm feeling like you did, but I'm also doubting myself on whether you did or not. Let's see. Jody's saying hi to Steve. Saying I have about 10 models I could bring to Wonderfest. They can all be displayed on the saucer of that one. Yeah. Jody is an expert at the mini Starships. He says, no, I did not. I just kind of look Klingon naturally. Let's see. Ben says, if I come and I see a giant Fantastic Enterprise D, I'll say hi. Don't know if I can come. I'm thinking about entering one or more of my dioramas in the contest, but some are too big to fit in my car. Yeah, I have to, it'd be fun to bring both of these things, but I'm not sure that they'll fit in the back of my car. Jody says it would be too hot. Yeah, I could understand that. And Ben says, hey, Andrew. The other Ben says, hey, Andrew, how do you safely transport a model the size of the Enterprise of the 650D without a custom crate? It must be a hassle. It actually travels really well on its back. So I've modified the boxes that the model kit came in because it's big enough. They're wide enough to fit the saucer. And so I have a custom pad system in there so that all the important parts are supported for the trip. So my guess is only one of these will make the trip. But one could dream about bringing both of them. I think it'd look really cool to have both of them side by side. But it's a lot of real estate. I don't know, maybe if I can find a method of transportation for both, I'll bring both, but who knows? So this should work a little bit better. As it's a fresh piece of transfer. That's where the diminishing returns come in. Let's see. C. Martin says only 2.5 hours away, practically neighbors. 2.5 hours from who? And also says, hey, Jody. I must have missed something somewhere. 2.5 hours away. I'm not sure who he's 2.5 hours away from. So I think you said, yeah, Michigan. So, I mean, you could be that close to Howard. Because Howard's in Michigan. Oh, we haven't seen Howard here tonight. Must be busy tonight. Lots of people will be busy because it is Easter weekend. Oh, that reminds me. Where did that go? One moment, please. Oh, well. Program's not programming properly. Tried to drag a picture into my streaming software, and it kind of gave me a hard time. So I'll do it this way. Happy First Contact Day, everyone. Tomorrow, not only is it Easter, but tomorrow is First Contact Day. So happy First Contact Day, everybody. All right. Oh, and we've got some more chat. Steve says, from Pontiac, Michigan to London, I almost got a complete Klingon outfit for $800. Okay, so you must be pretty close to the border then, if you're only 2.5 hours away from London. Was a bit much. Now you regret not getting it. Yeah, I can imagine. The missed opportunities. We all have some of those. Ah! A piece came off. A piece didn't come off and stayed on the backing that was supposed to come off the transfer. Now I've got to try to align it. Well, I think I was able to align it pretty well. It's this piece right here. Okay. Let's see. Steve says, yeah, Howard and Russ, very close to me. Ann Arbor, 25 minutes, if that. And then he says, from me. And Jody says, camera. Thank you, Jody. There we go. Let's go put this on the model. I was about to say, let's throw this on the model, but no, let's very gingerly. There's some fine lines on this one that need to be aligned. There we go. I do need to make a slight adjustment. Ken says, was the year for first contact 2063? Jody answers and says, yes, it was. There we go. I don't have to look it up now because Jody had the answer. All right, we're going to do the one on the other side. Let's see. Ben says, do they have limits on size of number of entries? Number of entries, I believe they don't, but there is a maximum size. And you'd have to check the Wonderfest rules for that. And Ken says, make it so. All right. I do know that the 650 Enterprise D is within the size restrictions because Lou put his into the contest last year. So if he was able to put it into the contest, then it wasn't too big to put in. Jody says there were some pretty large models there last year. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what the limit on size is, but there is a size limit. And I think that's just because there is limited space for displaying because there's only the size of the room and it does get pretty full, right? So they won't want a ton of large size models in there. So, but they have that spelled out in the rules for the contest on their website. And you pre-register your models online. That way you don't have to worry about filling paperwork when you're there. Ben says, hopefully you can get Rich Sternbach to sign one of those if he's there this year. Well, I wouldn't get him to sign one of the models, but he has had his hands on one of the two saucers. He got his hands on it the first year I was there, and he was looking at the paint job last year too. Oh, and Jody says I didn't know about pre-registration. Yeah, you can pre-register your models, Jody, through the website, and actually they prefer that you do that. Makes the process once there a lot easier, a lot faster. Camera, everybody shouting camera. There we go. Yeah, Jody, I need a sensor on my chair so that when I get off my chair, it automatically transfers my camera. I'm definitely going to have some adjustments to make here. Some alignment adjustments. That's also to be expected. All right, now we're working on the pylons. And Jody yells out, camera. And we've got Jonathan Bramble here. Hello, all. He says, welcome to the live stream. For anybody just joining us, we are working on the 1/650 Scale Enterprise D project. We're getting the Aztec secondary color masks down. We're doing the secondary blue color masking right now. So we're just getting the actual masks down, and then I'm going to have to go through and deal with any gaps in the masks, some minor alignment adjustments, that kind of a thing, before getting paint down. Shark says, I just decided which kits I'm going to take to Winterfest, so maybe tomorrow I'll pre-register them. Yeah, I'm not sure. Rodrigo, right? Rodrigo. Sorry, having to trying to get the names to stick in my head. I'm not sure if it's open yet, but you can definitely check it out. Steven says there was a charge for entry. Don't remember if it's per model or per build. There's they've got a plan for so that you're not paying for every single model if you're bringing a lot of models. But I don't remember how that all works out. Bamboo Taco says that giant space battleship Yamato that was at Wonderfest last year was amazing. I bet it was bigger than the requirements. Yeah. Was that there this last year? I don't remember seeing him, but he was definitely there the year before. Because I remember him walking through the dealer room with it. Jody says, I'm going to try to show my Miranda Hornet Razor class, the Excelsior Refit, the TOS Galaxy class, and maybe the 7D. Or a bunch of the small ones. Ricardo, thank you. Sorry, streamer brain, it just does not want to stick. Bamboo Taco says might have been the year before. I forget. Yeah, I know definitely the year before he was wandering around with it. I don't remember if he was there the year before. So Ricardo Montebello. Got it. I've got it. I have to. I've just made an association in my brain. So hopefully it'll stick. I need to make an association for it to stick. That's what it is. There we go. Oh, camera. Camera. You can't see what I'm doing if I've got the wrong camera on. I mean, a lot of this is a rinse and repeat anyway, but might as well be able to see what I'm working on live, since this is a live stream. So we're doing the pylon. There we go. Next pylon. And Ricardo says, no worries. And I've checked the site and it says that we can download the pre-register forms, no fees. No fees, something for 10 kits, if I'm not mistaken. You know what? Let's just take a quick moment and check that out. Wonderfest. No, not Wonderland. I'm not going on any roller coasters. Wonderfest. I mean, I like roller coasters, but I'm looking for modeling show, not amusement park. So we're going to do... So it says, $20 per first 2 models for adults, up to 8 additional entries free. So your first 2 model entries are $20, and then you can have 8 additional entries for free. So there you go. Now you know. Ken says, I have the 1/500 scale Yamato for Star Blazer's $21.99 kit in my stash to build one day. Very cool. And Jody says, I have the K7 space station. I'm going to make it into a Starship or 2. Yeah, you were saying that. And Jody, I'm going to send the Romulan ship out to you on Tuesday. That's the plan. I was going to send it out to you this week, but then I had sick kid with me most of the week, so my ability to run errands was a little bit impacted. I also have a package of transfer film to send to somebody in Ireland, because it seems that Wayne may have forgotten to include it in a package, and he's not been able to get a hold of Wayne. So I'm just gonna send some out to him. That way, this guy isn't held up building his model. There we go. we go. And somehow I've got a hole in this piece of transfer. So there we go. Pylons are done. We're going to move on to lower nacelles. $40 for 10 models. Yeah, that's it. Ricardo says, Ken, I'm taking that very same Yamato to Winterfest. Cool. And Captain Distraction is here. Welcome. Woot actually caught one of these live. Still waiting on the V2 kit. Still collecting bits and everything I had set aside for the V1. Yeah. I also have not received the V2 kit yet. They are really kind of held at the mercy of the manufacturer in China. They don't really have any control over how long it takes for them to get these things out. But I'm really excited to see the differences between the V1 and the V2. But yeah, welcome to the live stream. We are masking tonight. We are masking, or I'm laying down the masks for the third color, which is the secondary blue color. You can see I've already got the secondary blue color down on the lower saucer here. So there's some here. It's this lighter blue color. And so I am now moving on to getting the third color down onto the secondary hull. We've got masks down on the lower secondary hull and on the lower pylons. And so we are now moving over to the nacelles. And I didn't get these pre-cut. Oh, switching cameras. I didn't get these pre-cut, but that's okay. Both nacelles are the exact same pattern on both sides. On the bottom of the nacelle, there's different pattern port to starboard when it comes to the upper side, but not on the underside. Here we go. Let's see what chat's doing here. And Ken says, awesome, you have the same kit and you built it and taking to Winterfest. Yeah. It's always interesting to see how other people have built the kits you're building. Oh, I was looking for the narrow piece I had cut earlier, but I forgot that it had been damaged. So I'm just going to cut a slice off of this because it'll make it just a little bit easier if it's closer to the right size. And this is a newer piece to work with anyway, so the nacelle masks are a little bit different in that it really doesn't matter. Like, there's only a few pieces that need to be aligned with the panel underneath, and so the rest of it's just covering the rest to prevent overspray, and you can do a lot of that with the tape as well. Ken says, no, I already read that one. I thought I had seen a new one pop up there. Camera. There we go, camera. Never mind. I was getting ahead of myself there. I haven't pulled the backing off of this one yet. So I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Descartes. Descartes, what, he was like a philosopher or something? Anyway, there's a joke about Descartes. He was working in the field, or he was out in a field, He wasn't working, but he was out in the field making some observations about the world. Wait, no. No, I messed up the joke. See, I was supposed to tell you about the horse first. There I go, putting Descartes before the horse again. Yeah, we're just going to leave that joke right there. These nacelle masks are also tricky because of the complex curves on the nacelle. But the trick is just get the part on the design laid down well. The rest of it can be really ugly because it's just covering the rest of the nacelle, and you can tape off the rest of it with tape. Let's see. Ricardo says, took me 8 months to complete. It has the inner carousel with the ships and painting all of them was fun. Jody says, nice. Marshall Barber is here. Welcome. How do I buy one? I'm assuming that you're referring to how do I buy one of these kits. So you would need to contact Helios either through their website. So Helios Models and Lighting, I think is what their name is called. Give me one moment. I'm just going to verify that. Yeah, Helios Models and Lighting. So you can either contact them through their website or message them through Facebook to get pricing on their models. They don't have a buy now feature on their website. You actually have to talk to them to order one. Let's see. Alan Kelly says, badu boom. Jody says, that one is a thinking man's joke. Well, if Descartes was a philosopher, was Descartes a philosopher? Okay, now you got me wondering. Descartes. A French philosopher. Yes, philosopher. I got that right. Let's see. Makes sense. It's a thinking joke if it's a thinking person. Steve says, haha. Also says, what's the difference between an attorney and a rat? I'm assuming that you're not just referring to the scientific differences between a human being and a rat. Let's see. Alan Kelly says, yes. And Jody says none. I'm not sure what Alan Kelly was saying yes to, but maybe that he was a philosopher. I'm going to guess. Let's see. There are some things a rat won't do. Got it. All right. Next piece. Yeah, we're definitely not going to get... Oh, wrong piece of transfer. Where's my piece of transfer I was using? Transfer. Oh, it was hiding. It was hiding where I couldn't see it. So yeah, I don't think I'll get to getting paint on. I mean, I say maybe we'll get paint on it too, and we never do. All right. This one's going to be tricky. Tricky just because being able to see where it's laying down is not so easy. But we got her on there. All right. And we got about 15 minutes left on the clock tonight. Ellen Kelly says Descartes was a philosopher who famously said, "I think, therefore I am." Yeah. Stephen Martin says, hear about the tragedy about bus full of attorneys that went over a cliff. There was an empty seat. Got it. Let's see. Jody says, I have two 1400 Enterprise Ds coming. Any ideas for modifications? Larger, exploding over Radian 3, maybe? I mean, I've got suggestions for accurizing the kit and stuff like that, but that's not the way that you want to go with it. You want to change it up and make it completely different. So I don't know. Can you make a new class starship out of it? I mean, we already have I've lost the transfer tape again. Oh, there it is. I mean, we have they took the basic components of, like, even in TNG, they would take the basic components of the Galaxy class and they'd mishmash it up and make different kinds of ships out of it. So, I mean, you do have that option. I mean, the Nebula class has already been done, but I'm sure there's a lot of variations you could make to the basic Galaxy class parts to make a variety of different ship classes. And if anybody's going to do it, Jody's going to do it. Let's see how Jody says it's already perfect. What, the Enterprise D? And Steve Martin says, come on, man, that was some of my best material. Jody says, I couldn't think of anything to do to it, hence the tragic demise. Yeah. I don't know, Stephen, with all of the online hate towards a certain judge down in the United States, maybe the joke should be judge related. I don't know. Camera! We're on the wrong camera. Let's see. Steve says, I am Stephen Martin. I am supposed to be funny. Camera. There we go. All right. Is that intrinsic to Steve Martin-ness? Or are you just referring to your namesake? There we go. All right. I don't know. We might get the other nacelle done before we finish up here tonight. We'll see. Certainly won't be getting paint down tonight, unfortunately, but that's the way. That's the way the reconstituted matter in the form of a cookie crumbles. Ben says most judges are lawyers, so the jokes still work. Jody says, you're funny, Steven. You're funny, Steve, but you're no Steve. Oh, wait. See what you did there? I am a lawyer, so I love a good joke. Yeah. What do you throw a drowning lawyer? His partners. Got it. All right. Well, I think even though we haven't had Ken here helping me out tonight, I think we've managed to keep the conversation going. I've got to say, though, it's a whole lot easier when you got somebody managing that for you. So definitely makes me appreciate when I do have the luxury of having somebody like Ken do that for me. Oh, so Jody, I meant to ask you, how did it go during the Thursday night? This is one of my busiest weeks of the year, so I haven't been able to catch anybody's live streams this week, but how did it go? Did you have any different people coming over from Jordan's stream? Did you have a good turnout? There we go. Is there no, there's gotta. Oh, there's no light blue. Here I am talking about how I'm not going to skip over this part. Oh, camera. Apparently I didn't have the camera on when I laid this last one down. Anyway, so I was making a big deal about not forgetting to do this part. There are no masks for this particular color of blue for this section, so I don't have any to put down there. All right. 10 minutes to get the other side done. Can we do it? I don't know. We shall see. Jody says my stream was slow and boring, around 6 to 8 viewers. I'm sure it wasn't boring. And it probably just felt slow to you because you're the one trying to hold it all together. Steven says, I just started at the firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Uh-huh. Got it. There we go. go. Switching cameras. Starting with the awkward one first this time. Try to place that about where it goes, and then make sure that this is I think I got that one placed okay. The outer side one is always a little easier, and of course you can't really see much there on camera anyway, just because it's hidden by the rest of the ship. Let's see. Let's see. Jody, just don't get discouraged. You're one of my favorites. Of course, yeah, definitely don't get discouraged. One of the hardest things about streaming is just finding the perfect streaming time that works for you, and where you can pick up some viewers. I mean, Saturday night isn't ideal as far as picking up the most viewers, but it's the time that works for me. So that's the time I do. Jody says, thanks, Steve. I really appreciate that. Steve, because he says, got it. I see what went down there. I mean, it's also finding a good stream time is also made more challenging for Jody, because Jody's doing his very best to work around the other members of HTM who already have streaming times set up. So because Jody's trying very hard to find a time that doesn't conflict with anybody else on HTM. So that adds a little bit of complexity to it too. I was already live streaming Saturday nights before I joined HTM. And fortunately, I wasn't conflicting with anybody. There we go. We might just get this thing masked before 11, and I can't really go overtime, or at least not by much, because tomorrow is an early morning. Let's see. Jody says, I'm not discouraged. I'm still growing my audience. I need to focus on making videos more. Maybe I should go up against Wood Wednesday. I don't know. I mean, you're building plastic, right? So it's maybe it's a different audience. I don't know. There we go. And stand up from the chair. If only that was automated. I'm sure it could be done. I'm sure Jody's idea of hooking up camera switch to my chair would be possible. Probably be really expensive, although Maybe Elgato already has a solution for that. All right, one more mask to go. Camera. USB pressure switch. Make it a hotkey. Camera. Yeah, well, I have I'm not using it tonight, but I do have Elgato Stream Deck set up on my iPad, so I can set presets to switch things around, and just press one button on screen to do it. But I don't have that here tonight. But the goal would be that a sensor. Apparently, I'm getting tired. It's been a long week. Easter week, the week leading up to Easter is a terribly busy long week for me. What was I saying? The goal would be that it does it all automatically. I don't have to press a hotkey to do it. Of course, this last mask gives me some trouble and doesn't want to stick to the transfer. Of course. So I have to flatten out this thin piece here. I'll have to flatten it out on the model. Maybe a motion sensor for when you walk past. If I was walking past the same spot all the time, maybe. All right. The last mask going down. I still have to do tape work, so it's not the last masking work, but the last of the vinyl masks before for this color. There we go. They're down. So next up will be to deal with any of the gaps in the mask. Gaps here. There's some alignment issues that need to be just touched up with tape. Anywhere that doesn't have mask on it, it's going to have to be covered to avoid overspray. I'm getting tired. I'm going to have to go to sleep here in a moment. But that's where we're at, and that's where we're going to call it for tonight. So let's get switched up here. So yeah, some progress. Masks down for the third color, the light blue. So tomorrow at some point, I'll start going through with the tape and doing all those extra tapey bits. And then I'll get the airbrush out and I will get that fourth color down. And then it's just rinse and repeat with the get the third color down. Then it's rinse and repeat on the saucer with the fourth color, then to the secondary hull with the fourth color. And then I get a video out, my last deep dive video on the motion picture miniature Aztec masks. And then I am, there's a comment here. Oh, yeah, got it already. It was just, I couldn't see what the comment was. It was just, kind of blurred out on my list. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be the last video in the deep dive series, and four videos this will be for the deep dive on the masking, and then we'll get back to the regular videos on building these things out, and it'll be both on the go. Jody says, great job tonight, Andrew. Master looking good. Well, thank you so much, sir. All right, so I hope that you've enjoyed this live stream. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to my channel or haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button. Today, you'll help get me to the 3,000 mark. We're so close. We're only 20 subs away from 3,000. So tell your friends. Subscribe to Canadian Starships. I know, whatever. But I hope that you've enjoyed this. So my name is Andrew. This is Canadian Starships. Have a great night, everyone.